Hello, my name is Professor Daniel Brinton, professor at the University of Pennsylvania. I spent much time with John Keeley in his laboratory and learned from him the basics of his science. Below is an abstract of what I learned. Abstract of Keeley's physical philosophy and its main features up to the point of practical application, subject to modifications and additions when Keeley has made public his system. The fundamental conception of the universe is force manifesting itself in rhythmical relations. This definition is exhaustive, including both thought and extension, matter and mind. The law for the one is the law for the other. The distinction between them is simply relative, i.e., quantitative, not qualitative. The rhythmic relations in which force acts are everywhere, under all conditions, and at all times, the same. They are found experimentally to be universally expressible by the mathematical relations of thirds. These threefold relations may be expressed with regard to their results as 1. Assimilative. 2. Individualizing. 3. Dominant or resultant. From these three actions are derived the three fundamental laws of being. 1. Law of assimilation. Every individualized object assimilates itself to all other objects. 2. Law of individualization. Every such object tends to assimilate all other objects to itself. 3. Law of the dominant. Every such object is such by virtue of the higher or dominant force which controls these, above, two tendencies. Applying these fundamental laws to an explanation of the universe, as it is brought to human cognition, all manifestations of force may be treated as modes of vibrations. The essential differences give rise to three modes of vibration. 1. The radiating, called also the dispersing, the propulsive, the positive, and the enharmonic. 2. The focalizing, called also the negative attractive, the polarizing, and the harmonic. 3. The dominant, called also the etheric, or the celestial. These, it will be noted, correspond to the three laws of being. It is not to be understood that any one of these three modes of vibration can exist independently. Each by itself is called a current, and all three must be present in every stream or flow of force. The relations of the currents in every flow are expressible in thirds, and it is experimentally demonstrable that the relation of the three are in the order named, as 3313, 6623, 100. The evolution of what is called matter from the different modes of vibration is through the action of the second law, that of focalization, or negative attraction, or negative affinity. Where the vibrations under this mode meet, and are maintained in a state of mutual affinity or equilibrium, there is established what is called a neutral center, or, as otherwise expressed, a center of sympathetic coincidence. The terms neutral attraction, neutral affinity, negative attraction, or polar negative attraction, are employed to express the property of a mode of vibration to direct its components towards such center. As no current or flow of force can be composed of one mode of vibration only, but must always be composed of three modes uniting in varying thirds, we have 1 by 2 by 3 equals 6 as the total possible forms of sympathetic coincidence, or, to speak in ordinary terms, there can be 6, and 6 only, possible forms of individualized being. These are what Keeley calls the 6 orders of atomic subdivision, or orders of vibratory motion, and he names them as follows. 1. Molecular. 2. Intermolecular. 3. Atomic. 4. Interatomic. 5. Etheric. 6. Interetheric. 7. Compound interetheric. In this list, forms of matter are arranged in the mathematical sequence of the rapidity of the oscillations of their constituent members, the proportion being proved by experiment to be as follows for the molecular orders: 1, 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, etc. The arithmetical progression changes in the atomic orders to a geometrical progression as follows: 3, 9, 81, 6561, 4,304,672, etc. This same method of progression is believed to hold in all the orders of vibrations above the molecular, and soon passes into mathematical infinity. Actually, however, all matter of which we are capable of cognition through the medium of our senses is in one of three forms of aggregation. 1. Molecular. 2. Atomic. 3. Etheric. In each of which the controlling mode of vibration is respectively 1. The enharmonic. 2. The harmonic. 3. The dominant. but it must be understood that each of these modes is a positive and real constituent of every atom and molecule. It will be seen that as every form of material aggregation is to be considered as a neutral center of attraction, where the vibratory force of all three orders are held in sympathetic coincidence, that is, in balanced activity or harmonized motion, and not by any means cancelled or mutually destroyed. There is no diminution of force, but only temporary suspension of its radiating or propulsive activity or expression. This is the foundation of Keely's doctrine of latent force, and of the indefinite power which can be obtained by breaking up the harmonious balance or equation of forces of every mode, which exists in every neutral center, that is to say in every mass of matter. Insomuch as every mass of matter consists thus, in fact, of vibrations in harmonic equilibrium, related by simple proportions of thirds, it follows that every mass of every description stands in harmonic relation to every other mass. This is, in part, what is meant by the sympathy of all forms of matter and of motion, and it is through the study of the methods of increasing or diminishing this sympathy that we reach practical results in this field of research. At present this is best accomplished by resonance, that is, through the harmonic vibrations created by musical instruments, bringing out the acoustic world as the microscope reveals the hidden visual world. Every visible or tangible mass of matter must be regarded as an aggregation of molecules, the molecules being the true centers of the equated forces of neutralized attraction. End of Part 1.